Today I want to talk about the quietest and most cunning killer, which might already be lurking in your veins right now. This killer causes no pain, makes no noise, and gives no warning, yet in an instant it takes the lives of half of all people over 50. Its name is blood clot or thrombosis. Right now your blood might be as thick as syrup or as solid as porridge. If that's really the case, I'm sorry for being so blunt. It is quite possible that you might not survive until next summer. Yes, what I'm saying is harsh, but this is my job, and I'm used to looking patients straight in the eye and telling them the truth. Today I want to teach you how, with just one incredibly simple and effective drink in the mornings, you can make your blood as remarkably clear and smoothly flowing as the pure water of a mountain stream, and significantly and drastically reduce your overall risk of heart attack and stroke. Before we get started, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more health tips. It helps ensure that future videos are shown to you and that this video reaches more people. It might only take a single second for you, but for me, it's a truly great support and a clear sign that I'm doing the right thing. Now, very quickly and honestly, just take a moment to write yes or no in the comments with just one simple word. Have you ever really stopped to seriously think about what your blood viscosity actually is? Be sure to also write the name of your city and the time you're watching this video. I'm very curious to know where in the world and at what time you are watching me right now. Alright, my dear friends, let's explore why blood viscosity is not just an issue related to age and how it acts like a dangerous ticking time bomb. Our circulatory system is a vast network of rivers and small streams, extending across a distance of more than 100,000 kilometers in length. When the blood is thin enough to flow rapidly, it easily delivers vital oxygen and nutrients to every single cell while efficiently removing waste products. Everything works perfectly, just like clockwork. But just imagine the day when the blood becomes thick. It is almost as if a crystal clear river suddenly turns into a thick and murky swamp. The blood flow gradually slows down, settles, and eventually gets blocked. This process is exactly what happens inside our bodies. In medical terms, it's called increased viscosity or the thickening of the bloodstream. The famous long-running Framingham study, which has lasted for over 70 years, has clearly shown that for every 1% increase in blood thickness, the risk of heart attack rises by 12% and the risk of stroke increases by 9%. If the overall thickness of your blood increases by 15 to 20%, which is completely normal after the age of 55, the likelihood of a fatal event can easily double or even potentially triple. And the heart is the very first organ to be significantly affected. The incredibly tireless engine of our body is constantly forced to work at 3 or even 4 times its normal resting power level, just to move that dense and viscous mass through the blood vessels. Your blood pressure begins to rise significantly. The walls of the vessels gradually become much thinner and start to develop numerous tiny cracks. And instead of becoming stronger like a trained athlete, the heart becomes enlarged and weak due to the excessive pressure. This path eventually leads directly toward heart failure. I remember one of my patients named Ivan, a 58-year-old bus driver. He came to see me and said, "I'm always tired. My legs feel like they're made of cast iron and have weights attached to them. My blood pressure keeps going up and down. I think I've just gotten old." His test results showed that his blood viscosity was 28% higher than normal. After 3 months of following the same preventive method that I'm going to share with you today, his blood viscosity dropped by 19%, his blood pressure returned to normal, and now he sits behind the wheel full of energy again and tells me, "You gave me a second youth." But the scariest part isn't just the immense strain on the heart. The real disaster begins when, in this thick and sluggish blood, the tiny platelets, whose job is to protect the body, suddenly change their behavior and turn into dangerous aggressors. They stick together for no reason at all, get caught on the vessel walls, and layer upon layer they accumulate until a real solid clot forms. At first, it's like a tiny grain of sand, but then it grows much bigger, just like a rolling snowball. According to recent statistics published in the European Heart Journal in 2024, about 78 to 80% of people over the age of 55 have at least one small blood clot between 3 to 10 millimeters in the deep veins of their legs or in their smaller vessels, and they have no idea about it. They go about their normal daily lives, playing with their grandchildren or going to work in the fields, but there is a ticking time bomb hidden inside their body. And on one completely ordinary day, that bomb suddenly goes off. It might sound quite strange to you, but many people live with these clots for 5 to 15 years, just having a vague, persistent sense that something isn't quite right. For example, their feet are always cold, even when wearing wool socks. At night, their calves swell, they feel heavy-headed, their ears ring, their memory has weakened, or their mood keeps changing. Everyone thinks it's just because of aging or the weather, while in reality, these are the first warning signs that the blood can no longer do its job properly. And then the thing happens that all doctors are afraid of. A clot forms or completely blocks the vessel like a cork in a bottle, or worse, a piece of it breaks off and starts traveling through the bloodstream. Now, wherever this piece ends up, it blocks that spot. If it gets stuck in a heart vessel, it causes a heart attack, and 50% of people lose their lives before the ambulance even arrives. If it travels to the brain, it causes a stroke, and out of every 3 people, 1 is left permanently disabled. If it goes to the lungs, it causes a pulmonary embolism, which has a very high mortality rate in the first 30 minutes. Even young athletes can suddenly collapse in just a matter of seconds because of this issue. I had another patient named Maria, 62 years old, who came in with dizziness and fluctuating blood pressure. She thought it was due to changes in the weather, but the ultrasound revealed a 7-centimeter clot in the vein behind her knee. Just 1 or 2 more weeks would have been enough for that clot to break loose and for everything to be over. But we got there in time. Now every morning, Maria drinks the same beverage I'm about to tell you about, and for the past 3 years, she's been running around the yard with her grandchildren. A lot of people ask, Doctor, then why don't doctors prescribe blood thinners right from the start? The answer is perfectly clear, because chemical medications are like heavy artillery. They certainly save lives, but they can also cause internal bleeding, severe bruising, and require constant blood tests. While we don't just want to survive, we truly want to live with a high quality of life, without having to worry about bleeding every single time we brush our teeth. And this is exactly where the wonderful miracle of nature comes in. Nature gave us a complete, gentle, safe, and hundreds of times cheaper treatment than medication a long time ago. It's something that reduces the risk of clotting by 30 to 50%, cleanses the blood vessels of cholesterol plaques, and restores elasticity and youthfulness to the vessels. It's nothing other than pure natural tomato juice, with no additives. Yes, you heard right, the very thing you can find at any fruit shop. But there are some critical points that 99% of people are completely unaware of. Professor Vorobyov, a very famous doctor who lived to be 96, drank this beverage himself until the very last day of his life. But I'm not talking about those tomato juices in pretty cartons at the supermarket that claim to be 100% natural on the label. 95% of them contain between 1 and 1.5 grams of salt per 100 milliliters, and salt is a direct path to swelling and high blood pressure. What we really need is living water. So why is tomato juice so miraculous? First of all, ripe tomatoes contain natural salicylates, which are actually considered the natural equivalent of aspirin. A glass of fresh tomato juice, about 200 to 250 milliliters, provides the body with around 60 to 90 milligrams of salicylates, which is exactly equivalent to the preventive dose of aspirin, but without irritating the stomach or causing stomach ulcers. This prevents platelets from sticking together and makes the blood thin and fluid. Secondly, the strongest compound in it is lycopene. This red antioxidant is 10 times more powerful than vitamin E and 100 times more powerful than vitamin C. According to research from 2023, people who consume more than 25 milligrams of lycopene daily have a 26% lower risk of heart attack and a 34% lower risk of stroke. For comparison, a large ripe tomato contains 7 to 10 milligrams of lycopene, but a glass of fresh tomato juice has 25 to 40 milligrams. So 1 glass in the morning will more than cover your entire daily requirement. Third, its high potassium content, about 500 to 600 milligrams per glass, helps flush excess water from the body, reduces swelling, and, if consumed regularly, lowers blood pressure by 5 to 10 points after 2 to 3 weeks. Fourth, the vitamin C and rutin it contains strengthen even the most delicate capillary walls, so those tiny veins on your legs or burst vessels in your eyes gradually disappear. But now comes the important part that makes people want to share this video with their friends and family. Lycopene is fat soluble. This means that if you drink tomato juice without any oil, only 4 to 5% of it is absorbed. But if you add just a little oil, its absorption increases to 85 to 95%. According to a study by Ohio University in 2022, those who added 5 to 10 grams of olive oil to their tomato juice had lycopene concentrations in their blood that were 4.4 times higher than the others. That is why Professor Vorobyov once said, "Drinking tomato juice without even a single drop of oil is just like owning an expensive car without any gasoline." Now, what is Professor Vorobyov's exact secret recipe, which has been successfully tested on thousands of patients? The first rule is to only use fresh homemade juice. Forget about cartons and bottles. Take 2 or 3 large, ripe, and meaty tomatoes. The redder they are, the more lycopene they contain. Just remove the green stem part. Don't remove the skin or seeds at all, because they're packed with extra fiber and antioxidants. Put them in a blender and blend for 15 to 20 seconds until smooth. If you don't have a blender, grate them. If you prefer it thinner, strain it. If you like it thick, even better. It's more nutritious that way. The final volume should be exactly 1 glass, which is about 200 to 250 cc. Rule number 2. Immediately after preparing it, add exactly half a teaspoon, that is 2 to 3 cc, of unrefined vegetable oil. The best option is extra virgin olive oil, but unrefined flaxseed oil or even aromatic unrefined sunflower oil are also excellent choices. Stir it well with a spoon for 10 to 15 seconds, then move on to rule number 3. Only in the mornings, and it must be on an empty stomach. First, drink a glass of lukewarm water to wake up your stomach. 10 to 15 minutes later, have the tomato and oil elixir. 20 to 30 minutes after that, you can have your breakfast. An important point is that the temperature of the tomato water should be at room temperature. Never drink it cold or straight from the fridge, because it can cause spasms in the stomach's blood vessels. The recommended dose is just 1 glass per day. Here, consistency is more important than quantity. Who shouldn't drink this or should be cautious? Those who have an active stomach ulcer or gastritis with high acidity should avoid consuming it. It's better for them to start with half a glass and see how their body reacts. Allergy to tomatoes is very rare, but if you have it, it's best not to consume this. If you are taking warfarin or newer blood thinners, be sure to consult your doctor, because this drink can enhance the effects of these medications. What benefits can you expect after 2 to 4 weeks? These are real feedback from patients who have actually used it themselves. The heaviness and swelling in your legs at night completely disappear, your hands and feet no longer get cold, your blood pressure becomes steady and normal, your memory improves, your mind becomes clearer, brain fog goes away, and your energy surges. And most importantly, the risk of blood clots drops by 30 to 50%. Your veins become clean and rejuvenated from the inside. My dears, this isn't just a simple drink, it's a daily ritual of cherishing yourself and taking care of your veins. With just 1 glass in the morning, you can do something for your health that years of taking expensive pills can't achieve. If you decide to start from tomorrow morning, please write in the comments, "I drink it every day," or "I'm in." I read every single comment and sincerely wish you the very best of health. Please don't forget to like this video. Take care of yourselves and your veins. Watch these videos as well for more information. Until the next video, goodbye.